Buddy, welcome to this week's Tea and Sympathy Tuesday. I'm Jillian Baker, and today we're going to talk about the new book, Liable to Kill. Thanks for hanging in with me there last week. I took the day off to relax for a while after working so hard on this book, and I'm happy to say it's almost finished. It will be to the formatter this week and will be released on May 31st, Friday. So you'll have that whole weekend to read. So mark your calendars. Make sure you're not doing anything else that weekend, okay? So, no, it won't take you the whole weekend to read the book. um, hey, Lisa, how's it going? Good to see you here. So if you have any questions, Lisa, just let me know. Pop them into the comment section or comments. I'll take it all. I'll take anything you got. So today I am drinking iced tea. It's getting warm. And in my iced tea, I have mint from the garden and some fresh lemon squeezed in. So I'm doing it in style today. So I've talked before about the crazy kinds of things that I have to research when I'm writing a book. And one of the things that I researched for this book, Liable to Kill, was parrot behavior. Okay. So when I was trying to come up with things that would drive Jade insane, Jade, is my protagonist. When I was coming up with, okay, what can I do to make her life even more frustrating or irritating, or what's one more thing that she's going to have to overcome in this book that doesn't really have to do with the murder so much. I came up with a pet. And in the third book, Murder Over Medium, I don't think I've got a copy of it handy. In the third book, Murder Over Medium, her house guest brings an unannounced pet, and she had to deal with all kinds of crazy stuff with that one too. But for some reason, this just felt like I really needed a pet, and it just popped into my head. It's a bird. Okay, so one of the reasons that I may have thought that is because I never understood the whole let's have a bird in the house as a pet type thing. Sorry if you do, that's fine. We all have different things. Maybe you don't get having cats because they're strange, or I don't know. Anyway, I love cats, but you don't have to love cats. So I just never understood the whole thing about having a bird for a pet because they're not cuddly and they're not, I don't know, they're just in a cage. But some people love parrots. And so when I was thinking, okay, so it could be a bird. And then I was like, oh, I know, it could be a talking parrot. And so then I had to come up with this whole, why would Jade end up with this parrot? Well, it's because the murder victim had a parrot, and somehow Jade gets stuck with this parrot. She doesn't, because she's got cats, right? What's Tommy and Tuppence going to do with the bird? They're going to try and eat it, right? So she's like, I knew that she was going to be like, no way, Jose, I cannot take on a bird. But she was going to get stuck with it anyway and had to deal with it. So I know nothing about having a pet in the house. A pet bird, and I don't know really anything about parrots. So I had to do a lot of research. And a lot of the times when I do research, the details don't end up in the book. But to write convincingly for my audience, I have to be able to see the bird, be the bird, what do they eat, how long do they sleep, all those kinds of things, so that it's convincing for the reader. The last thing I want is for to get a bunch of tweets on Twitter at me saying, parrots don't eat carrots or whatever I might say. So I want to make it really believable, as if I know what it's like to have a parrot in the house. And the reason I chose a parrot is because um, I love the idea of this parrot quoting fire and brimstone Bible verses at Jade or whoever will listen. So the murder victim is a real Bible thumper, and she has apparently taught this parrot these different Bible verses, and they're all, real, like the wages of sin are death, and all this real like scary stuff that Jade's not a believer anyway, so she doesn't really want to hear all that creepy stuff. Um, so I looked up things like, what types of parrots are there even? I don't know. A parrot is a parrot. I don't know. So I had to look at that. I had to find out there are actually parrots that talk more than others. There's specific breeds that are easier to train to talk, have a wider vocabulary, all that kind of thing. So I needed to know what that was, what those kinds of birds were, and then what they looked like. And it's really interesting because when I started my Pinterest page, before I got to my revisions on this book, I put up all these pictures. I put up a lot of the research that I did the um, for the book on to my Pinterest. And one of the most popular pins that I have up there is about parrot care. And I'm just like, okay, you guys like parrots, that's cool. But I mean, some of these birds are absolutely gorgeous. There's this one that, maybe this is why the pin is so popular, but it's this bright green, and then it has this like lavender color on its head. It's beautiful. And so I didn't realize that the parrots could be that gorgeous. I've only had experience with one bird, one pet bird. A friend of mine had a bird many, many years ago, 20 some years ago. She had a cockatoo, and they would get it out of the cage and it would prance around, and they would, hold it on their finger and pet it. I'm just like, whatever. I never really want anything to do with it. And if you've been watching around here for a while, if you've followed me, you know that I love to feed the birds outside. I love to just keep the bird feeder full and sit out on the porch and just watch them, because they are so entertaining and so beautiful. I love to hear them. We have a nest up in our one tree that we have. And so we're watching the mama and the father robins go in and out of that tree, because actually with robins, the father sits on the egg as much as the mother does, so they take turns going out and getting food for themselves and the babies. So anyway, I love that, but having a pet bird just doesn't do anything for me. So I had to do quite a bit of research. I also had to look at how long do parrots normally sleep, or what's healthy for them, because Jade needs to be able to, so the parrot is going to drive her nuts. He's going to quote Bible verses at her, and eventually he does other stuff too that drives her crazy. And eventually she's going to need to cover him up with one of those, black cloths, so that she can fake him into believing it's nighttime and it's time to go to sleep. So I had to find out how long do they need to sleep, which, by the way, is about 10 to 12 hours a day. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Because I was like, oh, if it's only like 6 hours a day, I'm going to be in trouble as I write the book. So again, has to be believable. Jade cannot leave this parrot covered up all the time, day in and day out, or it's probably going to die, I guess. I don't know. So, I had to find out that. I was lucky in the fact that they sleep a lot. How long can you keep it covered? And then I also had to look up Bible verses for this. And that was really fun. I mean, it was some of the stuff that I found. I needed it to be really short too, because a bird's not going to talk in paragraphs. So I had to some of the stuff that I found, I ended up having to cut short, like find the juiciest parts. That would be creepy. And if they're just said in, by themselves without any kind of explanation, and so that the parrot would just say a few words at a time, and Jade would be able to respond to that. So anyway, that's one of the fun things that I got to research. Will I ever use this again in my life? No, but that's okay. I mean, who knows? I could maybe use a parrot in another book. I don't know, but I doubt it. But this one was just so much fun, and like I said, the idea just hit me. I don't know how I came up with the idea, but the parrot really adds a really fun dichotomy to not only her love for her pets, for her cats, but also just it's like having the murder victim, in her ear all the time, and reminding her that uh, that she's a sinner, because this whole book is liable to kill. Libel coming from someone is writing libelous. I can't say that word. I tried this weekend and I butchered it every time. Someone is writing a book and they are creating characters off of the people in the village of Aspen Falls, Wyoming. So they are committing libel. So that's where the title came from. So, ta-da. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Lisa. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Make sure you tell me what you were drinking while you listened. It's Tea and Sympathy Tuesday, but you don't have to drink tea. A lot of us do, but you don't have to, of course. So let us know what you were drinking while you're here. And if you're watching on the replay, use the hashtag replay so that I know that you are here later, and it'll pop up in my feed so that I can respond to your questions or comments. And if you're a bird lover, I apologize. I wasn't trying to demean your love of parrots or anything with wings. That's just my take on things. And of course, I gave that to Jade too. She doesn't understand bird pets either, but that's okay. So again, the book is available for pre-order. It comes out the 31st of this month, so you don't have much time left to pre-order. And the book is on a discount right now for pre-order, and the price will go up once the book is available live on the 31st. So hop on over. The link is in the show notes, so you can hop right over there and grab your copy. Okay, I will see you next week. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.